Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now for this video, I'd like to review a Blu-ray that I watched just last night. It's a British movie from 1971. It was directed by Roddy McDowall, and that movie is called The Ballad of Tam Lin. This movie, it's a kind of a British folk horror movie with strong, very strong romantic elements. It stars Ava Gardner, Ian McShane, and Sinead Cusack, and Stephanie Beacham's also in it as well. Yeah, okay, so before I talk any further about the movie and give me thoughts on the story as a whole, as per usual, I'll just read you the blurb at the back of this Blu-ray. Right, so The Ballad of Tam Lin. Hollywood enchantress Ava Gardner casts a glamorous, beguiling spell across this eerily evocative, unjustly overlooked folk horror. Loosely based around the traditional Scottish ballad Tam Lin and shot in the Borders, it would be the sole directorial credit of legendary Planet of the Apes actor Roddy McDowall. Now, swinging London photographer Tom Lin, played by Ian McShane, the current bedroom favourite of beautiful, wealthy widow Mrs. Cazares, played by Ava Gardner, joins his lover and a kooky coven of bright young things for decadence debauchements at a remote Scottish moorland retreat. But when Tom falls instead for Janet, the daughter of the local vicar, played by Cyril Cusack, he must face the fiery fury of a woman scorned, drug-fuelled, dangerous, deadly games. So there you go, guys. That's the synopsis of the 1971 production directed by Roddy McDowall, The Ballad of Tam Lin. This has actually got quite a plethora of special features there, guys, if you want to freeze your cameras and take those in there. And it's got a nice booklet in it as well. So there's the booklet, guys. All info about the movie. There's Ava Gardner in the main role. Yeah, so plenty to digest here, guys, about the movie. This very, very young Stephanie Beacham, which I believe was her first movie. Ian McShane. There you go. Ava Gardner. Yeah, so as I say, it comes in a nice package, guys, but unfortunately, I have to say it's a pity the movie wasn't as nice as the general packaging. Yeah. All right then, guys. So on to my thoughts now on the Ballad of Tam Lin. Unfortunately, guys, I was immensely disappointed with this movie. I found it to be very, very slow, very much akin to watching paint dry. The story was very weak. I did not really subscribe to many. Well, there was hardly anything really in the way of horror in it, really. I didn't subscribe to the main theme and that, although like Ava Gardner did pull off a good performance as this rather like witch-like woman and that, surrounded by all young people, young jet setters. Unfortunately, I thought she was wasted in this. Some people describe this as a Wicker Man kind of movie, but I didn't think there was an iota of Wicker Man narrative in it. I was expecting a real good folk horror, with the Scottish, obviously with the Scottish theme about the Ballad of Tam Lin, sort of like surrounded and that. But it was very, very slow, and there was too much slopping in it, too much, well, it wasn't really explicit sex, but there was a lot of bedroom scenes and that. And, basically, at the ending was, I won't give away too much about it, but the ending was a bit of a letdown too. Yeah, this was actually made in 1969, The Ballad of Tam Lin, but it was on ice for a couple of years and that, and then it was released in 1971. I say, do you reckon Roddy McDowall, the reason why he wasn't in there was a Planet of the Apes movie getting made around about the same time. So do you reckon the reason why he wasn't in that, the only one he wasn't in, was he was concentrating all his efforts on this, the Ballad of Tam Lin. But yeah, although I will say it's a lovely picture quality, the big house and that in the Scottish moorlands and that, and Jenny Hanley's in as well, another one of my favourite actresses, but she's only really got a bit part, really. But yeah, it's basically concentrating on Ava Gardner and a young stud played by Ian McShane and that, their relationship. But once she learns, the local vicar's daughter comes to the house and that. She's gonna sell a puppy and then basically the minute Ian McShane claps his eyes on her in the woods, and he falls for her. So that sort of like sets off the animosity, with Ava Gardner, because she becomes very, very jealous and very, very possessive, and then she starts turning into a kind of witchcraft act, really, to try and exact a revenge on Ian McShane. Yeah, but there was a missed opportunity with this movie, guys. It could have been so much better, and I've flung it on eBay because I don't think I'll be watching it again. I was so disappointed with this when I picked it up yesterday in HMV in Liverpool. I was really looking forward, because I've been wanting to see this movie for quite some time, The Ballad of Tam Lin. And but yeah, I was very, very disappointed with it. And that, the story was like, I say, it was like watching paint dry. I kept expecting something to happen in that, and it did, hardly anything did. It was just basically, it just concentrated on the relationship between Ava Gardner's character, Ian McShane, playing the young stud, and then of course when Stephanie Beacham enters the picture, everything's thrown up in the air, but. And she didn't even seem like the character Ava Gardner played, Mrs. Cazares. She didn't even seem like a witch character, she didn't really seem all that menacing, but I must say, like, Ava Gardner, she's a beautiful looking woman, and her features really stood out in that, and her eyes, and that, when the jealousy came, the jealousy and the resentment came to her face, she really put it over, and that, really, yeah. But apart from that, there was no real, I wasn't really bowled over by, it was hardly any malevolence radiating from a character, really. She just became a very, very jealous and bitter woman over Ian McShane, going with Stephanie Beacham behind her back and that. And then you've got all these, you've got this other character as well in it, like this young man, another, like, sort of like, I don't know the actor's name, he's unknown, but he's sort of like, he's with the young jet setters, and he's sitting there and he's staring all the time at Ian McShane and that, and he's sort of like, he's got like a knowing look about his face, and he has this smirk and that. But even him, he didn't really do he didn't do much in that. He just sat there smirking and giving Ian McShane, sort of like knowing looks and that, as if he was going to, he was basically planning something, Well, of course, as the movie goes on, you'll find out exactly how it all pans out in regards to his, his relationship with Ava Gardner, this young man and that. But it's a lovely coloured movie. I say, I'll give it that. It's a lovely setting, and I like the way it starts off with the old pilots of the cars and that, and he drive through London and that, and the scenery and that, and then you see them going into the countryside, the Scottish moorlands and that. But, I thought to myself, I'm in for a real good movie here. Boy, was I disappointed, It was nothing like The Wicker Man. I mean, I don't know where they got the analogy from, comparing it to The Wicker Man. It was nothing like The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man was a very, very gripping, exciting movie. There was nothing in this. It was very slow. The story was boring. The characters weren't really engaging. It was just basically a love affair that went wrong, really. And there's a few, I must say, there's a few weird scenes near the end and that, when Ian McShane's getting chased and that in the woods. But I won't go any further. But they're like this sort of like surreal scenes and that. And I don't like surreal scenes in horror movies unless they're done very, very well. And I'm afraid they made a big mistake putting these surreal scenes in this, But having said that, this is just my opinion. And it's another one of those Marmite movies, The Ballad of Tam Lin. I know a lot of people like it, a lot of people loathe it, and I'm in the latter category. I did not like it at all. And as much as I wanted to keep this lovely copy by the BFI, Institute, I'll be putting it on eBay, because I couldn't watch it again, guys. And this is one of the major British movies and that was released in the early 70s, and most of them usually good in that, but this was a big disappointment in that. That Master Ava Gardner actually puts that on in the movie and that, so she's sort of like portraying this menacing witch character, but it didn't work, guys. It fell flat on its face, What I will give Ava Gardner credit, she did her best in it and that, and Ian McShane as the young stud and that, and Stephanie Beacham and that. And, I say Jenny Hanley was in it, Cyril Cussack with his daughter, Sinead Cussack and that, all the sorts of like young jet setters and that. Well, he basically just hanging out in Ava Gardner's house and that, sort of like the way young ones did in the 70s and that, But yeah, it was very disappointed, guys. The Ballad of Tam Lin, very, very dull, boring movie. And it was hardly, there was no sort of like reminders at all in this, no parallels as far as I'm concerned, between this and The Wicker Man. So I don't know where they got that from. It's like The Wicker Man, yeah. All right then, guys, we're on to review a rating now of The Ballad of Tam Lin. I think I'm going to give it maybe, well, maybe, I don't know, 3 out of 10, and they're only getting that. It's only getting those points for the beautiful scenery and that, and the, you know, it was a lovely colour and that. But the story, oh, it was. But I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen, and it never did. All it was, as I say, it was just concentrating on the relationship between Ava Gardner's character and Ian McShane, the young stud. You know, I thought to myself, when is something exciting going to happen and that, you know? And you see him in the woods and that, you know, and getting him with Stephanie Beacham. And another thing I didn't like, when he sort of like first met Stephanie Beacham in the woods, he has like, he sort of like, he basically chats her up and that, and he actually does go with her because she has a baby, and she's basically advised to get rid of it and that. But when he meets her in the woods and that, it goes to sort of like this weird still frames and that, the jump from frame to frame to frame, you know, and I don't like that. Again, another one of my pet hates in movies, when they freeze the picture and it jumps like you're watching a slideshow. I mean, I don't know what that was in aid of. I mean, I don't know what you know, Roddy McDowall was thinking when he put that in. But, you know, I didn't like that either, you know, the sort of like jumping, just showing you one photograph, another photograph, you know, like a montage and that, you know, and you know how I feel about montages and jump cuts, especially if you watch me review of the new Elvis movie. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. All right then, guys, so that concludes my review of The Ballad of Tam Lin from 1971. Have you seen The Ballad of Tam Lin? What did you think of it? Do you share my opinion that it was very, very boring, dull movie? Leave your comments down below. But as I say again, I have to emphasise, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to put you off it. If you want to check it out for yourself, by all means do so. You get it for $14.99 in HMV or Amazon, whatever. But, you know, check it out. You might like it. If you like, now this is a very, very slow burning movie. And what I don't mind a slow burn as long as it builds up to a good story. You know, like Rosemary's Baby builds up to a good story. But this, there was hardly any story in it, guys. Yeah. But I'll leave it there now. I won't give away any more about The Ballad of Tam Lin. I'll let you, if you want to check it out, you know, well, you see for yourself, basically, yeah. All right then, guys, that concludes my review of The Ballad of Tam Lin. I hope you enjoyed the video, and all going well, I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye for now.